What is going on, everybody? We're going to try something a little bit different here, a little bit new. I might start doing some like TV shows reviews, any kind of like reviews like that. Now I didn't even know what Netflix was until like my last year in college. I just didn't get how people sat down and would watch like hours and hours of shows just back to back to back over and over and over, and I didn't get it. And my roommates were really into The Walking Dead, so I was like, let me see what this shit's about. As soon as I watched the first episode, I spat out all 4 seasons in like 8 days, just in my room. If I wasn't in class or at the gym, I was in my room watching Walking Dead. And then that led me into watching Game of Thrones, and I spit out those 4 seasons in like a week, and that shit got me hooked. So recently, what now is on TV is Game of Thrones season 5, and I figured we start doing some reviews. And if y'all watch it, you can leave your comments down in the comment section about what you think's going on. If you haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch it. I just want to see what kind of like fan base is out there for like TV shows and stuff. And if y'all have any recommendations, I might look into it. I'm not going to tell you to Google Game of Thrones online seasons for free or anything like that, but I would definitely say check out Game of Thrones. Like, I'm really big into like the Lord of the Rings kind of style, like old back knights fighting and all that kind of stuff. So like Game of Thrones got me hooked. So where I'm not gonna start late, like start with episode 1 of season 5. We're just gonna start on this last episode. In this past episode, it was Game of Thrones season 5, episode 5, and right to start out the gate, my man Sir Barristan died. If you saw episode 4. You saw that Barristan and Grey Worm, they got their shit fucked up, and I was like, okay, the episode cut without them dying. Both of them are gonna live. Cool. It was a great fight. And then the episode starts, and he's just laying there on that like stone table, and he died. I thought they were gonna figure out some way to save him. Like, I don't know, but he died, and it was terrible. It was terrible. So then that leads to Khaleesi saying fuck that shit, and she rounds up basically every like, they're not headmasters, but they're like, I guess you could say like heads of families, and she takes them down to see her dragons. But it's like, I don't even feel like she has a good connection with her dragons, because the last time she tried to see her dragons, she was scared running. But maybe she's like rekindled something. They listen to her now. I thought she was just talking a bunch of shit. I thought maybe they were gonna like snap at her, but they didn't. She takes the masters down there, tosses that dude in there, they burn his ass, they rip him in half, and they just start feasting. And I thought she was really just gonna do away with all of them, but you know, she reeled back. And something about that dude is so suspicious. The one that's on her council, the like light-skinned black dude that's always talking about her to like open the fighting pits, open the fighting pits. Something about that dude, I just feel like he's in with the Sons of the Harpy that are like, because they always happen to be in the right place at the right time to kill her army. Between that guy, I don't know his name, I honestly forget, and that girl in the whorehouse that like always seems to be at the scene of the crime, I just don't like him. But so she locks his ass up in jail, or I guess in the dungeons, and then she says that she's going to open the fighting pits, which is great. I think it'll be interesting. And then she says she's going to marry him. So if he really is in on it, maybe he'll stop and back off a little bit. But I just can't see her taking him all the way to Westeros, all the way to King's Landing. Like, you're going to take that dude's going to be your... I don't know. I'm just not liking it. So that's what happened with her. So after the whole Khaleesi thing, after she, you know, puts her foot down, shows that, like, I'm still Mother of Dragons, I'll still fuck your shit up. They go to that scene with Grey Worm, and what's her name? I forget the girl's name. The other girl that's on her council. He's like, yeah, I wasn't afraid of dying. I wasn't afraid of, I don't fear anything. He's like, I fear that I wouldn't see you again. I was like, how are they gonna have any kind of relationship when he's unsullied? Like, they can't do anything, but I guess just sit there and look at each other. But that was pretty interesting. But he says that he feels bad that he left Sir Barristan down. And I was just like, damn, he's dead. But that was interesting to see. Grey Worm's getting a lot more screen time than he normally would. So then let's jump into Jon Snow. He goes back and tries to convince, since Mance Rayder died, got burned a couple episodes. Was it in this season? It might have been episode 1. He basically goes to the second in command and is like, if y'all bring that, let the free folk fight for me. We'll let you in south of the wall. We'll give you land to live off of, farm, crop, place to live. And it'll be better for you because winter is coming. They just get, like, this season, it's just winter is coming, winter is coming. The White Walkers are coming. They can't stay north of the wall or they're going to die. So it's either you come south of the wall and accept the offer and fight, or you're going to die. And I think he knows he's going to, like, him and his people are going to die. So he says, I'll round them up. I know where they are, but you have to come with me because I don't want this just to be a reason that you just rally us all up in one point and then kill us. So he says, you come with me. You're Lord Commander, so they're not going to kill you if you're with us. So if you're with us, we'll know this is true. My people will know you're serious, and then we'll come and fight for you. They'll go attack. They'll go with, what's his name? What's the rightful heir to the throne now with the devil bitch? What is his name? I'm forgetting right now. The king, or the supposed king. He's like, we'll go with you. We'll fight the Boltons. We'll take back the north. But you have to come with us so we know you're serious. So you can still see the crows are kind of like divided. They don't know if they want to help them because, just like the little boy said, the exchange that he had, he's like, they killed my family in front of me. I watched them, the only people I ever knew. But Jon kind of had to get over that too when he had to sign off the papers for the Boltons. They killed his brothers, his family, but sometimes you got to do something to protect the overall greater good, and you just might have to do that. So Jon's off. They're going. The army is marching out of Castle Black. They're headed for Winterfell right now to fight the Boltons. And speaking of the Boltons, like, it was just an interesting feel right now. He's got a girl that's all jealous, that's just trying to... I thought she was going to stab Sansa, kill Sansa when she was leading her down to the dungeon. I thought she was going to lock her in there, and then nobody would find her. She would starve or whatever, but she ends up finding Reek now. His name is Reek. He's terrified as shit, but I feel like enough exposure to Sansa is going to... It's going to wake him up, and he's going to snap out of, like, the mental torture he's been through, because he's been through a lot of shit, and he's just mentally shattered. He's like, he was saying he's no longer Ironborn, and now since that's the closest family she has, supposedly he's going to walk Sansa down the aisle, and it was just an interesting exchange, and you could just tell that. I forget. I think Bruce Bolton's the dad. I forget what the son's name is, but he's just so creepy as shit, and I really want to see him get taken out. And Sansa's just there, like, the North is rallying to her. You saw the lady come in there, was like, "Hey, I'm here to change your." I think she was like here to change your bathwater or something, but she really closes the door. She's like, "If you ever need help, light a candle in the broken tower." And then that tower is basically where the whole Game of Thrones season started. Like, the whole show started when Bran fell out there, made her dad have to go all the way there. It basically started the whole thing. So Sansa's in an interesting position, and then his dad's like, "I'm having a baby, I'm having a son," and he hits him with that, like, "Yeah, you keep fucking up, I'm gonna take you out. My wife's pregnant, we got a son coming. If you don't help me out and do what you got to do, you're gonna lose your spot." And you could tell that he was really shaking in his boots when he found out his dad was having a son, because like there's really no need, because it's his true son too. It's no longer a bastard son, so like it's his true son. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. But they kind of had like a rekindled moment. It's like, if you're my son, fight for me, defend for me. And just that whole exchange of Theon Greyjoy and Sansa, I feel like he's gonna snap out of it, and maybe he'll be the one to kill the Bolton son. I hope he does. And then you saw Brienne and Podrick. They're plotting to get closer and closer to Sansa. They're trying to get her a message I'm hoping she'll snap out of it. I was hoping that when they saw Littlefinger and Sansa an episode back, she was like, I've seen your little sister. I've seen Arya. I know she's alive. You know, like, come with me. But Sansa was just having none of it. Every person she's trusted has, like, tortured the shit out of her, it's been terrible. She's finally, like, semi in control now, so I can understand why she wouldn't want to go. And to top the episode off, we had Tyrion. And what's the other one's name? The other night to Khaleesi, Mr. Mormont, George, something along those lines. They kind of have their, like, bond a little bit. And then you actually end up seeing the Stone Man. You see the shots of the city, and he's like, why can't we build cities like these? They had the greatest cities, and then now they've just gone to nothing. And then these stone, I mean, they literally start dropping out from these ruins like just blocks of stone. They just start hitting the water, smacking in the boat. And word on the street is if you get touched by them, it's GG. It's over. You don't have to get like bit or anything like that, or like scratched, or like if you get touched, it's over. Now, you know the little girl back at Castle Black, she has the grayscale on her face, but they were able to contain it. He brought in all the doctors and the maesters that he could. They kept it, and she lived. But out there, they're just completely solid stone. And if you get touched by them, it's basically over for you. So they battle it out. And it cuts to black. I was like, wow, they're going to really end it like that with my man just drowning to the depths. But they end up coming ashore. They find a little, like, sandbar. They're, like, on the outskirts of Illyria, which is on the road to Meereen, where they're eventually trying to get. And I feel like that bonding is good because that'll help Tyrion get in with Khaleesi now that he's got him on his side. But then you see that my man's got the, like, little splotches of the grayscale on his arm. Now, when I was watching, like, Game of Thrones Season 5 previews, you know, like, they'll have the whole season preview, like, in a minute clip. Like, they'll show it on HBO, they'll show it on YouTube. Mormont was there for, like, way into the developed episodes past him getting touched. So I don't know if he just keeps it hidden, if Khaleesi figures out a cure, or figures out a way to contain it, so maybe he'll just have it to his arm, like the girl kind of has it to her face. I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. So that was basically the episode in a mashup. I can't really think of anything else big that happened. There was no Aya, no, who else was there? There was no Cersei, no Tyrells, no Jaime, nobody out in, none of the Dorne, Danish, whatever, none of them were featured in this episode. So I thought it was a pretty good episode. So that was just kind of a review, a mashup. Let me know if you like this. I definitely want to bring these back, especially if there's Game of Thrones fans that are actually watching and up to date with all the episodes. I think it'll be fun to just kind of have these discussions and see how it goes from there. Again, if you've never watched Game of Thrones, I would definitely say check it out. It's great. Summer's coming up, so I mean, you could just waste your time watching it and it should be good. So next, and then the end of the episode, you see that they see Drogon flying over, and he's like, and just in his head, he's like, wow, like, he's never seen a dragon. It's crazy. Let me know your thoughts on the episode if you watch and you're up to date. What you think is going to happen, your opinions on this episode. And that's it, guys. I appreciate it. Hit the like button for more Game of Thrones reviews. And as always,